And staying on the subject, being buried at sea isn't just for sailors anymore. Neptune Memorial's underwater undertakers have interesting choices for your eternal send-off. Joining us live in Davie, Florida is Neptune CEO Jerry Norman. Good morning, Jerry.
Well, good morning, Cheryl. Thanks for having us on TV.
Well, I have to tell you, this is a very interesting idea and a new way, I believe, to be buried. So explain how this works with the underwater cemetery.
Well, the Neptune Society decided to fund a memorial reef that's a sculptured man-made reef that's 3¼ miles off of Miami and Key Biscayne, and it's only in 40 feet of water. And folks that conceived the idea enlisted sculptor Kim Brandell to create a lost city when the underwater city has lions and gates and columns and arches and roadways, and is a wonderful destination for people that want to give something back to the environment.
But they're giving themselves. But they're giving themselves, right? So we're showing pictures. We saw the lion. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. If someone is cremated, you put their cremated ashes inside of the lion. Is that correct?
Inside of the base of the lion. If you're looking at the lion feature, each one of the features has a place that we call a placement, so that we can take cremated remains and prepare them for placement and then take them offshore and put them into that feature, and the people will become part of a living, growing reef that will restore fish habitat and replenish coral growth in what was a barren, sandy area.
Okay, I might be asking the obvious here, but how do relatives get to go visit their deceased loved one? I mean, did they have to scuba dive to go down there? Is that right? Well,
they're welcome to scuba dive it. It's open water, and it's free to scuba dive it or snorkel over it or see it via a glass-bottom boat. But as you know, Cheryl, a lot of folks scatter at sea these days, and this gives them a permanent place of remembrance. And again, it's an opportunity for them to give back something to the environment after taking things away from the environment for their whole life.
Well, is that the only reason, the environment? Because funerals, it's like $6,000 to be buried these days. Are you finding that people wanted a better, maybe a cheaper alternative? Or, I mean, how much is this? If I want to do this, how much is this for me?
The price range for placement into this reef today, you can buy a placement for as low as about $1,500. And in one of the exquisite features like the lion, the prices would be upwards of $6,000. So it's a very cost-affordable alternative to traditional cemeteries or funeral service.
How many people are buried there now?
We have just begun selling placements this week, and literally have 2 individual women, actually, that are placed, one in a column and one is a starfish.
And they're already there. They've already passed away.
I personally went on those dives and placed them there myself.
Are you getting a lot of response? Are you finding that people are into this?
We're getting tons of response, and quite frankly, we just weren't ready to commence the selling process, so that, as you know, our news releases just went out, and that people can visit nmreef.com and see video and see all the features and the prices and decide if it's for them. They can give us a call.
And Jerry, just correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time that we have an underwater cemetery in place, correct? You're the first one?
To my knowledge, this is a one-of-a-kind.
All right. Well, it certainly is something else. Jerry Norman in Davie, Florida. Thanks, Jerry. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Cheryl.
What do you think?
I see Neptune Scuba Diving Company coming along next to go visit. Your question about go visit your relatives.
Well, how do you get to? Because I don't like to scuba dive. I'll snorkel, but I'm afraid it's so.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but it's expensive. I mean, like that. You know, that right there is several $1,000s.
Well,
I mean, there's the affordable version.
It's getting crowded here on Earth, Cheryl. So you know,
and it's off the coast
and there's
of
a
Florida,
lot of ocean,
which I think is very interesting.
You know what? You know, I'm thinking about the rocket deal where they blast you off into.
That would be more what you would do.
I'll go blast off into the...
It's pretty cool. And I got to say, funerals are so much money. That's why people invest in funeral stocks and companies.
There's all the religious aspects about what happens to your soul and all that. I mean, you can get into a whole big discussion there. So anyway, well, we do have your weekend box office roundup. That's coming up, and that's next, right here on Fox Business.